Whew, okay, a lot of big things happening. I'm really excited to have just crossed the 2,000 subscriber mark. That's pretty incredible. And if you're watching this video right now, I definitely couldn't have done it without you. I honestly thought that this channel would be really me just having fun and kind of like goofing around, but it's actually, it's actually starting to turn into something, which is pretty awesome. And I am really just so psyched. A couple things for housekeeping. I think I'm finally gonna start a Patreon. I wanted to give you guys who really like the channel a way to support me and, you know, contribute so that I can keep going at the rate that I'm actually going. It really would help a lot. It really would help the channel grow and keep me on this pace, because I do this really mainly for fun now, and it's definitely hard to juggle all the other things in my life. So any contribution is much appreciated. It's not, you know, necessary, and if you can't afford it, please do not. But what I think I'll do is I'll upload videos on Patreon right when they're done, so you won't have to wait a week if you want to see them early or whatever. Just watch them whenever you want. I'm gonna do some behind the scenes clips from my covers, so like I'll talk about my amp settings on Patreon, and I will eventually go over them on YouTube too, but I'll do them more consistently there when I actually am like releasing those covers, so they'll happen all at the same time. I'll probably do some bloopers and like stuff like that too, because I mess up a lot, and it would be funny to hear some of that stuff. So there'll be more content on there. Oh, and a Discord. I want to open up a Discord that you can get access to through Patreon, and we can chat and hang out and talk Malcolm Young, and I'll talk specs and gear and all that nerdy stuff with you guys. So that will probably drop alongside this video. And yeah, I'm just excited about all this stuff. And like I said, if you can't afford it, please don't subscribe to it. I'd rather you take care of yourself first. And if you really can't afford it, just shoot me a message and let me know, and I'll comp the membership for you. So anyway, what I wanted to do today is something a little different. I kind of wanted to just have fun with it and take it easy, since it's like, you know, the big 2,000 subscriber mark. I thought it would be a good time to play around with some other guitars. So I'm gonna load up AmpliTube on my laptop, and we're gonna try to dial in a Malcolm tone with that first, straight out of the box, so we can sound like Malcolm. And then we're gonna see what other guitars sound like through that tone and kind of compare and contrast a lot of these. So I think it could be fun. It's gonna be a little wacky. I've never done it before, screen recording my laptop, so we're gonna all learn at the same time here, and it should be fun. Okay, so here we are at the workstation. It's just my laptop set up here. And so hopefully you can see the screen. And what I've done here is loaded up AmpliTube 5, like in the complete factory standard form. When you buy it and open it up in Logic or even on its own, this is exactly what it's gonna look like. So right now it's like it loads into a JCM 800 head with these exact settings. I've done nothing to change it. And then we got like a regular 4x12 cab situation here. So let's see what this sounds like. I know it's not gonna sound like Malcolm, but let's just see, you know, what we're working with here. So obviously there's a lot of gain, there's a lot of crunch, and it still kind of has like the flavor of Malcolm, but it's not Malcolm. It's like a heavy, thick tone, and to be quite honest, I actually kind of like it. I think it's kind of cool, but let's see what we can do just straight out of the box. I'm not going to edit anything but the EQ on the amp, and we'll see if we can't get this to sound a little bit closer to Malcolm. So I'm going to take the preamp down a lot. And actually, you know what? Let's just see how that sounds. It's close. Maybe the master could even come down a little. And maybe the preamp could come up. It's close. Let's go like 1.2 and maybe bring the master up. It's actually kind of close. You know, it's actually the magic of this pickup and the guitar, because all I did was change the volumes. I didn't even touch the EQ, and it sounds great. Honestly, if I had to play a gig like this, plug the laptop right into the PA, I wouldn't even be mad. And I'm curious what would happen if we change this SM57 to a condenser. Oh, that's way close. It's already way closer. This is crazy. It's in the ballpark. I know it's not exact, but it's pretty darn close. And so I want to prove it to you right here. You can see it's just AmpliTube. I don't even have an EQ on this. It's just straight coming out of, you know, the actual output, pure as is. So it sounds awesome. And so yeah, I'm going to get a Strat now, and let's see what this sounds like, because I really have no idea what it's going to sound like. Apologies in advance, the Strats in standard tuning. The Malcolm artist model is in the half step down. Let's hear this. It's a little ice picky. I gotta turn the tone knob like down to 4. Now I'm turning it up a little bit. Well, it definitely sounds like a Strat. It's thin, and so my thought process here is it's too thin. So maybe if we add a little gain, it will thicken it up a little bit and maybe raise the master even just a few points. You know, that's not terrible. We're definitely getting closer. Let's bring the presence down all the way. Bass, I'll bring the mids up a few, and I'll bring the gain up to 2, and master another point. That's not too far off, honestly. If I had to use this as like a 4th backup, it probably could work in a live setting. It's funny because Malcolm used a Telecaster as a backup for a long time, and maybe not a long time, but he used it for sure here and there. And so he played with a Fender live. He must have at least once or twice, you know? So it's an interesting thought. This is maybe what he sounded like. Probably not too far off from what he really sounded like. I know they were using a plexi, but I wanted to just do this stock with AmpliTube, so if you guys wanted to get it, you could just do it like this. And I kind of, like, I'm just experimenting with this and thinking it through, like, on the spot, because I wanted to give, like, my thought process of what I'm hearing in a tone and how I think it could be tweaked to get closer to Malcolm, or maybe, like, adjustments here and there that you guys could make and take into your own playing. You know, I just want to like share the knowledge of like how to work a tone like this and get closer with multiple different guitars. So this is really for fun, but I'm hoping you can learn something. It's like a really, like, it could easily be like a... All right, enough Hendrix. I love Hendrix, but this is about Malcolm. So, all right, we got the Strat kind of close. We did it by thickening it up with gain and raising the master a little bit. I just took the presence down. Maybe even dropping the treble could help a little bit. And I have the tone knob at 5. I would say this is like ballpark. I'm kind of happy with it. Let's go on to an SG with a vintage pickup next. Okay, here's my SG. It's my #1 Gibson. I love this guitar. I've had it for almost 20 years now. Actually, this month, November, it turns 20, so it's almost vintage, I guess. Anyway, it has. I replaced the original pickup, which I think was a 490R, whatever that is, that Gibson makes. This is now a 70s T-top. It's been rewired, but it has the original components, so the wire's the original too. And it sounds awesome. Like, it takes gain really well and does Angus's parts perfectly. But let's hear how it sounds cranked with this Malcolm tone we got. So there's obviously too much gain, and that's what's crazy about like a JCM 800 like this, is like the gain is on 2 and it's already too much. So I'm going to take it down to 1. I'm going to bring the master up to 6 because I feel like that could help a little bit. Bringing the tone knob down. And like a T-top pickup, in my mind, just to give you my thought process, is pretty similar to like a PAF or a 59 or whatever. Like they have the similar characteristics, but it's a little bit fatter, at least from what I hear. It has more mid-range fatness and a little bit more on the low end. And I feel like it has a nice like woody tone, but it's also, you know, it's a little bit more tight, whereas a PAF is kind of wide open, which we'll take a look at after this, because that pickup is crazy. But let's try this. It actually sounds pretty good. The rumble on this guitar that you're hearing is the fact that this thing needs new frets. But I kind of like this. What I'm hearing that it does have, that Malcolm's tone has, is like sparkle. And I think Filtertrons are all about the sparkle. And same with the Strat. Like it's glassy. I think the Strat's a little too glassy, but this has that like sparkling top end. That sounds very Malcolm, and it could just be the result of a Marshall amp with a right hand that plays like that. But I feel like that's pretty close. So what I did, basically, the presence is still on 0, treble's on 5, bass and mids are, bass is boosted, mids are around 5. Let's even bring the gain up just 1.1. And, preamp, I don't know what that was on. You saw it. We'll go back and look. 5.5 now, though. Or, sorry, that's the master. It's not bad. I kind of like it. I actually think it's a good tone. It could work. So that's the SG. Let's go on to, well, this is a funny Les Paul. Let's take a look together. Okay, so here's a Les Paul Studio. It has a similar situation in the bridge pickup to that guitar. It's a PAF Gibson pickup, but it's rewound and basically rebuilt from the ground up with original components. So it wasn't cheap, but it's not a real original. It is, but kind of a Frankenstein, just like this guitar is. It's a 95 Studio that's been refinished in this like nitro wine, brandy wine red. It's a great color, and it plays awesome. But let's hear how a PAF pickup sounds with this tone, because I think it's gonna be a little glassy like the Strat was. way too glassy. I'm gonna take the tone down a lot, like to 4. That's not bad. I even might take the tone down a little bit less. I feel like we might need to thicken it up, and maybe adding gain would help, so I'm gonna bring it up. See, this is the thing you get with a PAF. It's like wild and open. That is the volume knob is now on 8. So volume's on 8, tone knob's on 4. And it's funny because a lot of people don't think that way, but with like a real vintage pickup, a lot of the times in the 50s wiring, you really can't play with the tone and volume knobs on 10. You got to bring them down kind of a lot. Like you have to really ride the tone and volume, and that's like a characteristic of those old pickups. Like they're not made for the modern player, so they're like super touchy. Let's we're kind of in the ballpark. I'm bringing the master down and the preamp up. And I'm even going to bring the treble on this amp down a little bit, down 0.5. I think I brought the gain up too much. We're getting towards that Malcolm sparkle, but the body is not there. I wonder what it would sound like in the middle position. So what I did here is I have both pickups on. The neck pickup's on like 7 or 8. Bridge is on like between 8 and 9. I brought the tone up of the bridge a lot to like 8, and the tone of the neck pickup's all the way up. Brought the bridge tone all the way up. Like, I know this doesn't sound like Malcolm, but I feel like this might actually be closer. It has the low end that you want. This is probably the farthest I think that we've strayed from his actual tone. Like, I don't think it's necessarily bad, but it's not really doing it for me. And the unfortunate thing is, this is a great guitar. And the volume, you know, if you brought the gain up a little bit. You know, it has like that Zeppelin-y Jimmy Page sound, which is awesome. That's why I use it, but it doesn't really, in my mind, this is not it for Malcolm. Next one I have is a modern SG with a modern pickup. This is straight in, no modifying it from where I had it with that Les Paul. Everything's on 10 on the guitar. I mean, that's insane. The gain's only on 2.3. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it to like 1.2. This is a 57 Classic, by the way, a modern Gibson 57 Classic. One of my all-time favorite pickups is a 57 Classic. They freaking rock. Not Malcolm. It's too overdriven already. Like, it's just way too much. I'm gonna bring the gain like way down. Okay, a little bit more. Let's bring it to, it's 0.8 might be the one. I think we need to bring the volume down on the guitar. See, part of the characteristic of Malcolm's tone to me is like the edge of breakup. It breaks up when you dig in. And this kind of does have that. But it's not the right flavor. I don't think Malcolm would be happy with that. Let's just mess around. Using the master right then did a lot, actually. Like I said, I love a 57 Classic, but I'm not getting that like top end sparkling glassy high that you get with Malcolm's tone. And I feel like the Strat and the T-top had that, but this kind of doesn't really. This is a great pickup for live use because it has the power and it has like a well-rounded sound. It's not too high and it's not too low. But yeah, it's not really doing the Malcolm thing, at least to me. Yeah, no, I don't really like it. It's a great guitar and a great pickup by itself, but not for this. Let's try that 62 Select, the Gretsch. Okay, here's this, straight in, everything's on 10, bridge pickup. This is crazy. Reminds me of the Strats, way too top end heavy. Listen to that. It sounds like glass. Like it sounds like the string is hollow. Yeah, not really my thing. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I like the way this guitar feels to play, but it doesn't really do it for me. Yeah, no, I don't like it. I'm gonna bring the treble down. It's just no. No, just no. Like, it's like Malcolm-esque, but I just don't like it. I don't know. You guys tell me. It's just, I'm not doing it for me right now. Back to the beast. The number one. Tone is the same as that last one. Is it the guitar? Is it the pickup? Whatever it is, it just rocks. It does the Malcolm thing. It just does it. So I'm bringing the presence back up. I'm going to bring the master back up a little bit. It's already like right there. I could get carried away just jamming on that because it sounds awesome. I think that sounds a lot like Malcolm. So what did we accomplish? Well, we figured out that a T-top from the 70s and a Strat can actually get, I think, in the ballpark of Malcolm. It's not going to be exact, but it's in the ballpark. A PAF, I don't think so. A 57 Classic, I don't think so. A TV classic, I don't really think so either. And it's kind of wild because that arguably is like an original Filtertron, so it makes me like, no wonder that Malcolm, you know, wanted a thicker sound. And like I said, this is AmpliTube right out of the box. I haven't done anything to it except change the tone knobs and stuff like you saw. So it's worth looking into and playing around with it if you want to try to get some of these tones. And like you're seeing here on the side, there's a ton of different things, and I think next time I'll do this, because I want to do stuff like this more often. I think I'll do it like with different amp modules and different heads and see like, you know, what would Malcolm sound like through a Fender amp, or what would it sound like? Can we get like the exact album tone on the Plexi, which is like what he really would have used, or even a Vox, or, you know, a Red Pig, whatever, any of these amps. We're gonna screw around with them eventually in the future. I like doing stuff like this. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Once again, thank you to everyone who subscribed and who comments and watches the videos and who enjoys this. You've brought me a lot of joy by, you know, like interacting with this channel. And it really means a lot. It gives me motivation to keep it going. So I love each and every one of you. Please, you know, spread the word. Subscribe to the Patreon if you have the means. It would help out. And let's just grow this sucker. Let's just, you know, let's do it. Anyway, rock and roll. Till next time, we got covers coming up. We got the gig vlogs coming up and a lot of other stuff. So stay tuned.